time for the visit with the person of High Strangeness. I would like for you to know that a couple of weeks ago we introduced you to a young woman named Beth Quist. And the phone rang. It started to ring as we was doing the show. And then it continued to ring. And I would like to let you know her webpage is listed at the end of the show. So she had promised to come back at that time. So today that's what we're going to do. But before we get to this, I would like to tell Beverly in Anchorage that I'm finally finding the opportunity to share those great cigarette cards with you that you had requested me to do. And there's a little story here. My grandfather, he collected these little cards of cigarette packs between 1909 and 1919. And at that time, well, he was living in Algiers. And so I inherited this wonderful collection of cigarette cards. And the reason I'm mentioning some of them to you, there is what in modern day is considered partial nudity. But because of the continent in which they come from, it's not considered. There wasn't anything to it. And today is a good day because Beth sings Middle Eastern music, and when we talked, she also said that we need to celebrate femininity. That's a big word. Did I say that right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I like to reacquaint you with my guest, Beth Quist. And did you have a safe trip back over here?
Indeed.
You
Very.
did?
Mm-hmm.
You were so well received that I'm glad you came, just that
Thanks.
soon.
It was fun.
It was fun, wasn't
Yeah,
it? Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, we were so proud. Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
So I thought what we do today is talk about some of your songs and have you play as many as you like. Now, at the last time when we closed off, we were so involved, we almost ran out of time. And at that time, you were talking about, actually, you was explaining how sometimes you just show up, open your mouth, and it's almost channeled some of your music. And so we had left it as a cliffhanger. Would you like to just touch on that for a minute, and then I sort of give you a free hand after that?
Well, it's the experience of getting out of your way, getting out of your own way, and letting the music come. It helps with both improvisation and, well, the improvisations that lead to composition. I mean, because you have to be able to improvise, I think, to compose, because that's what improvisation is composition. But there's a point, and it comes when you lose your self-consciousness, and that's tough. That's not always
your higher self. That's what some of the friends refer to.
Yeah, and you just get really swept up in the flow of where it's going, and it doesn't happen all the time, but that's certainly the goal.
Yeah. Well, it is said that some of the great composers that their music was channeled, and then at a later time, I can't remember the author, but there's a book out. It's been out since 1913, I believe. It's called Thought Forms, and in there, had I thought about it, I would have brought the book. And in there, it shows the thought forms that go with the notes, the music, and the way you put it together in almost paintings that it creates in a person's mind if you know how to put that on paper. It's pretty incredible.
Wow.
Yeah, the thought forms.
Just a note on, you were just talking about how some of the great composers in all cultures, I'm sure, had been channels. But I think in the Western tradition, the Western classical tradition, I know that Bach, for example, I mean, there are many examples like this, but he was renowned for his improvisation. And in the classical realm now, the fine art music, it's starting to come back, but improvisation really hasn't been explored as much as it used to be in Mozart's time, in Beethoven, Bach.
Correct.
I mean, imagine the stuff that Bach he used to improvise fugues on the organ, all of his limbs going at once. Just it must have been sublime. I'm sure I think his music kind of sends me already out into the stratosphere. I can just imagine
Well, you were great enough to play for us the last time, and you used all your limbs at that time. And it was pretty incredible, actually.
Thanks.
And because sometimes when we tape live concerts, they, um, like when I first met you, they assigned us a space for the camera, and you just, it's almost like a ball game. You can only get so close, and you just lose some of that personal, that intimate relationship that you have with the artist. To refresh the friend's memory, I have a whole list of people that you have played with, and have shared the stage with Bobby McFerrin. Oh God, I can't see. Jonathan Brooke, Edwin McCain, Peter Woburn. Am I saying that right?
Did the Afro-Celt sound system get on there? I've opened up for them before with a DJ.
No.
Oh, okay, they're yeah. That's another one that hasn't made it
Now
on that.
they are actually a spin-off from, or some kind of way they evolved or split off African roots, and those are the band that in our Universal Music shows we played inserts from African roots in some kind of way. At one time they were connected.
Really? Well, I know that their talking drum player played with Baba Mal.
Right.
And I don't know about the kora player. Maybe he was involved with that group. I'm not sure. But yeah, it's certainly possible. I don't know.
That was back in 91 and 92. Yeah.
Yeah,
so
wow.
That.
Wow.
And the only other one I'm familiar with is Wendy Wu. And
Nice
so
to see.
I'm going to give you a free hand here. Maybe you could, you know, tell us about the songs, how they came about, give us samples, and play your heart out if you have any left, because you gave us almost all the last time you was here.
No, that kind of thing's unlimited. I'm going to, I think, begin with a structured improvisation.
Okay.
That you heard a little bit of at the beginning. It's based very, very loosely on an African warrior chant, the Woi chant that I learned from Letitia Williams in Colorado from an African dance class. And but from there, I'll be using a Middle Eastern drum on it, and yeah, you'll see. It's a fairly long piece, so I'm going to take this off now and move over to the.
Yeah, so you can just sit back and enjoy just a new flavor this show has taken on for 1 week, and maybe we go back to normal format next week. But right now we're going to have a wonderful time with Miss Beth Quist. There you go. Actually, this, yeah, I was going to say, for a minute it looked like a talking drum, but it isn't, yeah.
No, this is from Alexandria. It's an Alexandria drum. It's Egyptian. And most professional djembe players will carry a drum like this because they're really hard to break.
Yeah, well, I have one in my glass room, but it's not made out of metal. Mine is made out of some kind of clay.
I have two ceramic ones as well.
Yeah, we've showed it on the show, so.
Yeah, those don't travel much with me, just because they do tend to be finicky and they break a lot easier. This holds its pitch and all that.
Yeah.
Okay. Get myself situated. Oh.
Cool.
I have to have some good monitors here.
Yeah, we do. Actually, while you're doing this, I'm going to acknowledge my staff. They have just done an incredible job again. Ladies first, Edie and Cliff and Bernie, and we have a studio audience today actually, and I don't know everybody's name, but I like to acknowledge Carrie Houston is from Olympia, Washington, and she does Reiki, and she also has, she promised 2 years ago, never got to it, she has a chorus with the Sweet Adelines. So, now did I put you on the spot? Carrie, how about it? Okay, she's waving at you, okay.
Okay, I'm ready.
You have the floor. No. There it is. So enjoy. I'm just going to sit here and be quiet.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah,
And then also here, it's just that you see, oh my, see, you have a guitar and you have a flute, and it says in anything else you can get your hands on.
I think we'll get to it.
Yeah, so it's a lot of things here, and
Should I come back over there? Do you want me to stay
well, if you want to do another one and just explain, what type it is, and then we don't have to go back and forth so much. So it's up to you, unless you want to take a break.
Well,
and tell us about your hiking and your yoga and.
It'll be fun to play another song. This one, is it coming through? I guess over. Yeah, we get a little reverb if I stay over here. It'll sound like I'm in the distance. I suppose dramatic.
Well, this is the person of High Strangeness show, so it's quite all right.
We can be there.
Mm-hmm.
This piece is a song that has a really has a story that I love to it. I was traveling up the Pacific Coast Highway this summer. It was my first time driving from San Francisco up to the Olympia National Park. Wow. Wow, what an incredible drive. And I stopped in Mendocino, which I spent a lot of time at, both for the Balkan Music and Dance Camp, where I first learned much of the styles that I sang. And but I also had a very dear friend who lived there who died about 3 years ago. And so it was kind of, I've been trying to write a song for him. He was a musician. And I had one song idea that I was sort of playing with, and it wasn't quite happening. And so I stood out on the cliffs. If you've been to Mendocino, there's these beautiful cliffs that overlook the ocean. And I took my guitar. He was a guitarist, and I started playing this song. And it ended up being for him. And there was an osprey that flew right by me. And wow, birds of prey. That was something.
Well, then we'll just dedicate this one to him then.
Indeed.
Yeah, we do that sometimes.
Yeah.
I lost a friend too, and I did acknowledge him again on this show in the credits.
Yes.
His name is Keith Eubanks. He was a
Great.
beautiful being, and he would have totally loved your music.
Where's my guitar pick?
No,
Another one.
we got a lot of
There.
stuff. There you go.
I know, it's ridiculous. I call this my obstacle course.
Yeah. Well, life is kind of like that, And,
I know.
yeah.
Okay, I have to get over to, so the osprey made it into the song, the cliffs made it into the song. This one will be on my next CD. I just started recording it, actually.
Actually, when I acknowledged my staff, I got as far as Carrie. I don't think I said anything about Bernie. And if I didn't, I apologize. If not, I'll mention you twice because you're doing such a wonderful job. Thank you, Bernie. Yeah.
Thank you, Bernie.
Yeah, thank you, Bernie.
You're welcome, Lily.
Yeah.
This is called The Angel of Death. This is from Michael Hedges. Is it you here whispering through the sequoia? Is it you here chant to the rhythm of the sea? Is it you I see dancing on the clouds? Is it you I see flying over me?
and the angel of death rides the waves, and the angel, and the angel, and the angel of death rides the waves. Osprey, a bird of prey on the wing. One step and off this cliff I could fly. Osprey soar the waves circling. One step, would you take me under your and the angel, and the angel, and the angel of death rides the wind, and the angel, and the angel, and the angel of death rides the wind. Is it you I hear whispering through the sequoia? Is it you I hear chant to the rhythm of the sea? Is it you I see dancing on the clouds? Is it you I see flying over me? And the angel, and the angel, and the angel of death rides the wind, and the angel, and the angel, and the angel of death rides the wind.
Wonderful, thank you. The other thing I want to tell you, I had a lot of calls the last time I did a show with Beth, and one of the questions was put to me if she was related to Ezekiel. Now, Ezekiel is a young lady that we did the homeless shows with, and she's an actress. And so your stories are not even similar, but you do favor each other. So in a way, you could have been related. And so I just want to clarify that, no, there is no relation to Ezekiel. And the other thing is, for the friends that didn't see the last show, you actually your early influences were Batman and Star Trek, and you wrote your first song when you was 4. I mean, I saw 8. It's called "I'm a Little Leopard Prowling Around in Sneakers," and you have a 4-octave voice.
On a good day.
On a good day.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
I can
I've
hit
heard
3.5
you
regularly.
many times now, and I think they were all good days.
Thanks.
Would you like to explain to the friend what the difference is between some of the like the Balkan and the Greek music, and or is it related at all or not at all?
What, the different styles within the Balkan region?
Yeah.
Certainly, they're actually, it's kind of interesting. Some of the melodies, for example, that will show up in Armenian, Greek, Turkish, and they all claim that it's theirs.
Ah, that's
But I mean, the Greeks and the Turks would never want to admit necessarily that they shared something.
There's some gypsy influences, and they're still debating where they originated. Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of relation in all the styles through. I mean, yeah, due to the gypsies. I mean, starting all the way from India into the Middle East, up into, I mean, like the santur. I played this instrument in the first show, which is or hammered dulcimer if it's Irish. In the Middle East and India, it's santur or santuri. It originated in Persia, and it's the great-grandmother of the piano, actually. But it's everywhere. It migrated everywhere. It went into Greece with the cimbalom. It went into Irish music. They use the hammered dulcimer quite a bit. I mean, so there's even a version of it in Cambodian music. So we're all related.
Now, I do know a little bit about music from that region until, I don't know how long ago it started, but even till very recently, Algeria, Morocco, the home for that is, they call it Rai.
Oh yeah, I've opened for a couple of Rai singers.
Yeah, I'm very familiar with Cheb Mami.
Yeah, he's singing with Sting right now.
Is he? But what happens is you don't hear females very often. It's usually males
yeah,
that
that's true
sing.
with the Rai.
And so
Egyptian, it's different though. You hear a lot of female singers when you get into Egypt. I think Kalthum.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you find that changing now?
You know, I don't listen that much to Rai. I haven't been, so I don't really know.
I like it.
I don't know what's going on. I've loved what I've heard.
Yeah.
We opened a band that I was in Boulder opened up for Sheb Nasro, and then of course there's Khaled. But really, those are the only Rai musicians I've heard, other than I don't know, some here and there that I wouldn't be able to identify.
I'm not sure, but I think Khaled was in the performing arts in Olympia, and I think he opened for Voices of Mali.
That
He's
would have been a great show.
He's dark-skinned, favors the Sudanese, no?
Yeah, he is fairly dark.
Same person, yeah. So the Olympia people have met him already.
Oh, that would have been a treat, yeah. Yeah,
What? I'm sorry.
Oh no, that's okay.
No, go right ahead.
I was just going to say he was when I was in Europe with Bobby McFerrin. He was touring at the same time, and he was a huge hit. Huge hit. And so.
Pretty neat, yeah. People like them well. What goes to your mind when you write your songs?
Oh, it's interesting. They all come in different ways. Some of them come instantly. The lyrics, everything is just there. Others kind of sit for even years. The ideas will sit around, and then all of a sudden it will grow. They're all very organic. Even when I'm doing score work, I don't ever feel like I'm necessarily forcing stuff
Define
out.
organic.
Non-forced, I should
Non-forced,
say.
okay.
Yeah, yeah. They come. Things come out pretty easily. Knock on wood. Hopefully that will continue to happen. I hear about writer's block. Actually, I think I might have experienced that once, but I was kind of depressed. But it took hearing an incredible interpretation of Rachmaninoff, his third piano concerto, that kind of knocked me out of it, and just tears streaming down my face, and getting into the music again. And that didn't last.
But that's the good thing about being able to go with the flow. I think we touched on that a few weeks ago. When you visited me at my home, when we were talking about the time is not right and going with the flow, and then you mentioned that you're working on a song that talks about that very same thing.
Yeah, it really needs a band to perform it. Part of it, one of the parts is on the hammer dulcimer. Also needs tabla, and I've been working with a tabla player in Seattle, and also bass.
But I liked your explanation how you did
Yeah,
that.
there was a line in it that said, "How can I flow when the river runs dry?" Because I was feeling rather stuck at the time, and that was right after my horrible Paris experience. So.
Now, in African folklore, there is a fish that lives both in water and on land, and he sort of is stuck there, but he's very versatile. And when the time comes, he can go either which way. So it's sort of like your glass is half full or your glass is half empty.
Right.
So being in a river like that is really not a bad space to be, if you look at it that way.
Yeah, I didn't like to be there though. I know there was stuff to learn, but darn it, I want to learn the easy way.
Life lessons are really, really hard. I'm not sure how many more numbers you had planned because this is a 1 hour show.
How are we doing on time?
And I don't know, we should be over halfway there. So
okay.
we're going to ask you to sing us out eventually. So if you have something in the middle that you could explain.
Yeah, I'd like to do a song that's based on a dolphin dream.
Dolphin dream,
that's
right. That's the one that you have promised us.
Yeah, it was composed. I had a dream that I had been I had just been born, and as a dolphin, I was in the water. And this may tie into me being conceived on the Atlantic Ocean.
On the Atlantic
I don't know.
Ocean.
But I was kind of feeling awkward in the water, and trying to learn to get the right motion again, that to move through with ease. My mother was there, and there was a boat that we saw, and she said, "Those are humans." She said, "You have to be careful of them. They can be nice, but be wary. Beware of them." And so I took note of that. I noticed that the sand. This was something I thought was odd when I woke up. The sand was completely white, and there was no sign of vegetation. And I thought, geez, there's not even seaweed or other fish. I thought that was kind of weird. And I said, well, it was just a dream, And then I caught a clip on the Discovery Channel or something like that a couple of weeks later. And they were showing a mother teaching her dolphin baby to find white flounder that hung out like right on the top of this white sand. And it looked exactly like my dream. And she was teaching the baby how to use its sonar so that the baby could see the fish and eat them.
In some circles, it is said that dolphins are the extraterrestrial angels.
Well, they're definitely amazing beings. I swam with them once.
Oh, did you?
In the Keys.
Well, I had an MRI not too long ago, and I saw the shapeshifter, if you will, and experienced what whales do, the horrible sounds. And
oh, I hear those sounds and I cry.
Just horrible, just horrible. So after that happened, I went to a really busy street corner at rush hour to see if I could put a 1 to 10 on it. And that horrible corner at rush hour was about a 2. What I had heard was about a 14. And it made me realize how criminal it really is to destroy the habitat of these giants of old.
Intelligent. Way more intelligent than us.
Well, okay.
Okay,
so
I'm going to switch
we're looking
the mic
forward to your dolphin song here. Actually, I have a dolphin somewhere in my bag of goodies, and would you know it, I didn't bring it. Yeah.
Well, this song also addresses some environmental issues about the habitat.
Wonderful.
So it's interesting that you would mention that as well. And yeah, it goes a little bit further than the dream when it takes the idea farther than actually happened in the dream.
So before you know it, we'll have been around the universe, from the oceans to the trees to the four corners to the earth. It's incredible what you can do in an hour, if you allow it. If you allow it.
Okay, getting queued up.
I'm gonna cough at you again here. Excuse me. Yeah.
ocean blue planet.
Wow, thank you. I don't know. Let me check with the staff here. Do we have time to sit down and talk for a minute, or should we? I could just talk to you across the room here.
Outro. I'll do another improvisation for the outro, so it's flexible time.
It's flexible. Okay, well, I have a question for you. I'm going to put you in charge of the world for just one day. What would you do? No, not would you. What will you do?
There's so many things. Well, I would first off protect the remaining forests and plant more. Convert certainly the paper making into hemp or other sustainable forms. Oh God, there's so many things. I actually wrote a song that's on my first CD that covers almost. It's called Crazy, and it covers all the things that are crazy in the world. Actually, I can turn off the reverb. But yeah, there we have.
Well, actually, we have a show in the making where we explain all the good things about him. You know, so we can quit cutting down the trees.
Yeah,
so I might quote you on that.
Oh, definitely.
And when you came to my home, I live in a mobile home. Everybody knows that. And you made a comment about that feeling of, I don't remember what you said, but it was, you said it was I forgot what you said.
I don't remember the exact words. But I inherited a mobile home from my grandfather in Boulder. And if there ever was such a thing as yuppie white trash, it's in Boulder. But it's the home itself. It's in a very nice park, 5 minutes walk from the mountains. Really sweet. And it I so much prefer it to apartment living because you don't have somebody on the next wall, and you really have your own space, and you can have your own little yard. I had a garden. I planted an organic garden in my yard, and I don't understand why anybody would choose an apartment over a mobile home, quite honestly.
Exactly.
Other than sometimes there's less protection legally for mobile home for renting the space. But boy, to be able to play music at night and not have to worry about the neighbors right on the next wall.
That's right. Yeah. We just create our own universe, and then you have a van and I have an RV, so we'll be on the road and have no choice. So it's about the closest thing to what we are used to. Yeah. So thank you for sharing that. I'm going to quote you on that.
Great.
Too.
You can.
Okay. Let's see. I don't know how much time we have, but maybe we would. You could set us up for one more.
One more? How are we doing on time so I can know how to time the 2 minutes? Okay, I better hurry.
Yeah, so we got a little time there. And that instrument is, what do you call?
This is a synthetica djembe.
That's right.
This one. So.
And which country are they native to?
I believe it's Senegal.
Senegal.
Yeah. I put most in Senegalese music, although the plastic ones aren't used so much. I don't know, certainly they're more for bringing on the road and playing in rainstorms. So.
But for each drum beat, it multiplies things by 10, and so rainstorm is a good time to play a drum.
Yes.
Yeah, we can change weather with music actually. There you go.
Improv.
We need to do is tell everybody thank you and goodbye, and then just have you keep playing until we're almost done or whatever. I do so appreciate you coming to do
Thank
this.
you.
It's
Thank
cruel,
you.
great job. I thank you. We'll see you again next week. And what happens is, audience, give yourself a hand, because I'm glad that you took part in this new adventure, this journey, that musical journey that we took you onto. So have a safe trip home. I'm going to be
you.
quiet, and I'm going to see you next week. And so it's all yours.
Wonderful. Thanks so much for having me here. We'll go to another maqam, Hijaz. The last one's Kurd. No.
le,